What's up, friend? Welcome to the channel. This is day 1 of the 12 Days of Coachmas. So hi if you're new here and hi if you're not. If you are new here, Coachmas is a now annual tradition here on the channel where we dive headfirst into the chaotic, questionable, and downright scammy behavior being found in the life, spiritual, and business coaching spaces. My name's Danielle. You can get caught up on last year's playlist right here. And boy, oh boy, do I have a lineup for you this year. Now, before we get into the content for today's video, I do want to make one thing abundantly clear.
Listen up, please!
Coaching, the act of coaching, the industry of coaching at its core is not the problem. It has never been the problem. However, this leads me to the question of what's happening in the online coaching world. Well, it's giving selling air. It's giving financial freedom for me, but not for thee. It's giving pay me $10,000 for advice that you could probably just Google. It's giving pyramid scheme. And that's allegedly, in my opinion, of course. Specifically, I'm referring to the coaches coaching other coaches model. And that's basically, where we have one coach who is then coaching this other person on how they themselves can also become a coach. And then that person is coaching somebody else on how they also can become a coach, and so on and so on and so on until everyone is coaching everyone on how to be a coach and grow a coaching business. It's like the coaching version of an MLM, multi-level marketing company, where basically you're just recruiting people on selling them on this dream that they can have whatever life they want. If they just recruit other people into the dream, that those people can also have whatever they want. And all of the money is kind of just like funneling up to the highest paid mentor, and everyone else is stuck at the bottom just struggling to get by. Do you know what I'm talking about? Today we're going to be pulling back the curtain a little bit. We're going to talk about how this trend has taken over the industry, why I believe it's harmful, and how I believe it's turning what could be a meaningful profession into something quite terrible, honestly. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Let me know in the comment which part of the Coachmas series you're most excited for. And now let's go ahead and jump right into the coaches coaching coaches pyramid. Now, without getting into too much of the lore around multi-level marketing companies, I do think it is important to discuss at least what they are for the sake of this conversation. Full disclaimer, this is not my area of expertise per se. I do consume a lot of anti-MLM content, but I am by no means an expert in this topic. There are a lot of channels that do a far better job than I at explaining multi-level marketing, and I'll make sure to link some in the comments down below if you're interested in learning more about that topic specifically. That being said, here's what I will say specifically about the topic of coaching and MLMs being similar, because I think sometimes, such as in this comment here, people tend to conflate the two things, and while they are similar, they are by no means the same thing. An MLM, or multi-level marketing company, is a business model in which participants make money not only by selling a product, but also by recruiting other people into the business to also sell that same product. I know popular ones from my hometown where I'm from are Monet, Arbonne, Young Living, 31, Epicure, and New Skin, maybe. But again, there are literally so many of these companies. Basically, the way it works in an MLM is, yes, you are selling a product. So maybe it's shampoo or supplements or bags or essential oils, whatever it is, you sell that product and you make a small amount of commission off those sales. So let's say I sell a bag for $10, maybe I get $2 commission from every sale that I make. And again, not my area of expertise. I don't actually know the commission percentages. It's just an example. The point is, the real way that you make money in an MLM is actually recruiting other people. That way, you can also make money off of their sales, and you can also make money off of the people that they recruit. And so the catch is that in an MLM business model, the focus typically is much harder on recruitment than it is on actually selling the product. And this is because you make more money if you recruit more people. And I think that reason is why MLMs are often criticized as resembling pyramid schemes. Statistically speaking, in an MLM, most people who participate end up spending more money than they make. And it's usually the people at the tippity top of the pyramid that are making the most amount of money. That can be found literally inside any of these companies' income disclosure statements. I'm not just pulling this out of my ass. Now, I tell you all of this because this might sound familiar if you've been following the trend that's been happening in the coaching industry as of late. And while the two kind of mirror each other or seem similar in their behavior or their shape or style, coaching in itself is not an MLM. So let's discuss. I think for the sake of this video, it's also really important to define what a pyramid scheme actually is. And while I will admit that I have in the past referenced the coaches model as a pyramid scheme or a pyramid structure, I understand that by definition, it is not technically a pyramid scheme. When we talk about pyramid schemes in a traditional sense, we're talking about a business model where participants primarily make their money through recruiting other people into the business model. The scheme starts with one person at the top, and then it gets progressively wider as it moves out, as the recruits recruit their own recruits, and so on and so on and so on. So I recruit you, and I receive a fee from you in the recruitment. And then you recruit Jane Doe under the guise that you're going to teach her how to make money and she pays you a fee. But then I get a portion of the fee that Jane paid you. So I get your money and then you get Jane's money, but I also get some of Jane's money. And whoever recruited me gets money from me and you and Jane. And all the money at the bottom trickles up the line. So not only am I making money off the people that I recruit, but I'm also making money off of the people who are recruited by the people that I have recruited. And so each new recruit pays a fee that flows up to the person that recruited them and them and them. And that's what creates the pyramid like structure. So, just as a bit of an aside to be completely clear, pyramid schemes are illegal in many countries, including Canada, where I live. And that's mostly because they exploit the participants and have no real value add. So here's my 2 cents and something I want to make abundantly clear when we talk about pyramid schemes and we talk about the coaches model. If I launch a coaching program, coaching you on how to launch your own coaching program where you're going to coach somebody else, I am not financially benefiting from you getting your own clients. So by definition, this is not a pyramid scheme. Now, that being said, the reason why and I believe many other people, you can verify in the comments if this is true, the reason why I refer to what's happening in coaching as a pyramid-like structure is for a few different reasons. First of all, typically, if I am the OG coach, I am at the top, I'm making the most money, I have the most clients, and the most visibility. And so as a result, secondly, I think that anyone who is my client or a client of my client tends to then typically follow the same methods for marketing their business. They're using the same sales tactics. And in many cases, they're even using the same coaching methods with their clients that I taught to them. I mean, you can watch day 1 of Coachmas from last year where I go over examples of how so much of the industry has just become cookie cutter, copy paste versions of each other. And we're going to actually get into that even deeper tomorrow. But you can go back and watch that video if you haven't seen it. And so the last reason I think that coaching kind of resembles a pyramid is most importantly that the coaches industry is basically built on this idea that in order for you to be successful as a coach, you consistently and constantly need to be getting coached by someone. So I'm basically either getting you to continue to sign long-term contracts with me, or I'm continuing to recruit more and more clients under the promise that I'm going to help them succeed. Or in some cases, if you're my client, I'm actually getting you to refer your clients to me so that they can get even higher level coaching. It's all very incestuous. And I mean, we have seen this similar pattern in many coaching circles. I will actually draw this out for you on the screen here because I just think it's important to really understand what's going on here. And of course, this is all anecdotal experience, what I've seen, what I've gathered through the many conversations I've had with people, and just the observations I've made over the years. Okay, so let's say that we have Sally. Sally is like our main coach here. And we're going to call her business the Academy of Coaching. Let's pretend that Sally recruits 25 students into her school. So she has 25 students studying under the Academy of Coaching. And so then of those 25 students, let's just say that Sally decides that 2 of them in particular are standout coaches. They're so incredible. She's going to promote them from being just clients of hers to now co-coaches with her. So they're going to become like the people that are actively coaching in the academy. So we'll name them Jane and Sarah. So you still have Sally and her students. Now she would only have 23 students because the other 2 students are now coaches of the 23 students that are remaining. And they are currently getting coached by Sally on like a higher level, right? So Sally is kind of their mentor, and they are actively coaching in Sally's program. Now, let's say further down the road, Jane and Sarah both decide, you know what, I don't want to coach for the Academy of Coaching anymore. And instead, I'm going to open my own coaching program. So they leave the Academy of Coaching and they decide to open their own coaching school. Who do you think their first clients are going to be? I'll leave you a minute here to guess. You're right. They're going to poach some of Sally's students from the Academy of Coaching to come and be their students. So let's say they each take 2, and then Sally is left with her 19 clients. Jane over here takes Becca and Lindsay. And then Sarah over here ends up taking Rachel and Caitlin to be her students. And then, of course, they're still getting mentored by Sally. They have their own school. These girls are under them. Those girls then create their own schools where they're coaching other people, and so on and so on and so on. And so it's my opinion that in this particular type of model, success is actually built from being able to continuously recruit more students in and up and out than it is on the actual substance of the coaching program itself. So all that to say, is the coaches coaching other coaches model a pyramid scheme? Technically, no, we've addressed this. You're not directly profiting off of the recruitment of your clients' clients, which again, by definition, distinctly makes it not a pyramid scheme. Just to be clear. But I still think when we take a step back and we look at this objectively, there are a few parallels here that are just too hard for me, anyways, to ignore. That being the consistent emphasis on recruitment over substance, the constant upselling into higher ticket programs, and a structure where the people at the top, whether they are the earliest, the loudest, or have the largest social media following, those are the ones who profit the most, where everyone else is left to struggle, but be sold on the idea that you just got to keep trying in order to be successful. And so suddenly you've got this section of the industry that is much less focused, in my opinion, on actually helping people, so much as it is focused on sustaining itself by continuously bringing more people into it. So yes, all that to say, coaches coaching coaches is technically not a pyramid scheme. It is definitely not an MLM, but the parallels between all three are very hard to ignore. I would love to hear your thoughts on this conversation in the comments down below. Be sure to tell me how beautiful my drawing was. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you tomorrow for day 2 of the 12 Days of Coachmas. Big shout out to the channel VIP members, as well as Harrison, Zurify, Tom, and Suzanne in the billionaire tier. Take care, comb your hair, and I will pop the Coachmas playlist up on the screen in case you're not watching this the day it gets published. I will see you tomorrow. Bye!